Welcome to the second part of the video on the topic Plant Kingdom. So let us have a recap of what we have learned in the previous video. So in the previous video we learned about what is a plant kingdom, and then we learned what are the general characteristics of algae. Then we learned classification of algae. Then finally we ended the topic with the economic importance of algae. So let us see what we'll be learning in today's video. So the first one that we'll be learning is what are fungi. Then we'll be learning the different types of heterotrophs seen in fungi, the classification of fungi, then finally the economic importance of fungi, harmful effects of fungi. So we'll be covering each topic in detail. So fungi, so we'll be seeing general characters, classification, economic importance and harmful effects of fungi. So let us see the first one, what are fungi? So in the previous chapter we have already learned what are fungi. So fungi are unicellular or multicellular, that is they are either single celled or multi-celled organism, and they are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means the nucleus is surrounded by a well-defined nuclear membrane. So all the fungi are coming under eukaryotic. So in the previous video we saw that algae belong to Thallophyta. So even fungi belongs to the group Thallophyta, that is its body, the body of the fungi is not differentiated into stem, leaves or root. Hence fungi also belongs to the group Thallophyta. So we will see images of fungi. So the body of a fungus usually consists of a long filaments. Filaments means long stem-like structure which is called as hyphae. So when these hyphae are arranged in a network kind of structure, it is called as mycelium. So when the long filament-like structure or the stem-like structures are arranged in the form of network, it is called as mycelium. The next important thing that we have to know is the cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin. The cell wall which is surrounding the cell is made up of a material called as chitin. So chitin is a fibrous substance. So all the fungi cell wall are made up of chitin, which is a fibrous substance. And we also know that the branch of study of fungi is called as mycology, and the people who study fungi are called as mycologists. So in algae, we know that algae are autotrophs, so they had the reserve food material as starch. But in this case, in fungi, which are heterotrophs, that is, they do not have chlorophyll, hence they cannot prepare their own food. Therefore, the reserve food material in fungi are glycogen and oil. So they cannot produce starch because of the absence of chlorophyll. So the reserve food material is glycogen and oil. So we know that fungi are heterotrophs. So in fungi we can see three kinds of heterotrophs. So fungi are classified as parasites, saprophytes and symbionts. So we'll see in detail what are each. So parasites, let us see what parasites are. So when some fungus absorbs food from the living organism with the help of a special roots called as haustoria. So we find few fungus which lives on other living organism for its food and survival. So such fungi are called as parasitic. So they get their food from the other living organism. So they live on other living organism and take their food from them. So such fungi are called as parasites. So how they take the food from the other living organism is with the help of special roots called as haustoria. So you can see in the picture here the stem. Above that you can find the thin filaments of the fungi which are having small root kind of structure which is getting into the host plant. Host plant means the plant which is supporting the survival of the fungi. So the roots are absorbing the food material from the host plant, that is the special roots called as haustoria. So such fungi are called as parasites. So these fungi live on other organism by taking the food nutrients from the other organism. So one example is Sarcospora personata, which is a fungi which lives on the groundnut plants and takes the nutrient from the groundnut plants and destroys the plant by causing a disease called as Ticca disease. So this is a groundnut leaf. You can see the black patches on it, which is the fungus, and it is present on the leaves and it is absorbing the nutrients. The second type of heterotrophs seen in fungi are called as saprophytes. So in the previous chapter we learned what are saprophytes. I hope you remember that. So saprophytes are generally a general characteristics of fungus, that is we find fungi living or feeding on dead and decaying organic matter. So we find some fungi which gets its food from dead and decaying organic matter. Such fungi are grouped as saprophytes. Example, Rhizopus. So we can see the images of different saprophytes. So the next one is symbionts. So what are symbionts? So symbionts means a mutual relationship between fungi and algae, and both are mutually benefited. So some fungi are known to grow along with algae and they both are mutually benefited. So how both of them are mutually benefited is, we know that fungi cannot produce its own food. So fungi depends on algae for food because algae can produce its own food. So fungi depends on algae for its food and algae depends on fungi for shelter. So fungi can provide shelter to algae, hence algae depends on fungi for shelter. One example is lichen. So you can see the picture. So lichen are found generally in many places on the tree bark. On the bark of the tree you can find slightly whitish green patch which are called as lichens, and lichens are known to be grown only in those areas which are free from pollution. So you can find lichens on the bark of the tree only in such places where the pollution is minimum, or else you cannot find them. Hence we can say that lichens are indicators of pollution, and lichens are also symbionts. Another one example that we can say about symbiotic relationship is some fungi live in the roots along with the algae present in the roots, that are called as mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza are fungi which are symbiotic which have symbiotic relationship with the roots. So you can see in the picture the fungi having a symbiotic relationship with the roots and they form a root nodule. You can see in the picture here, you can see root nodule. Root nodule means the bulging bulb-like structures found in the roots. So we can say that parasites are destroying the host for its own survival. Then we have saprophytes, which feeds on the dead and decaying substance. Then we have symbionts, which have a mutual relationship with algae. So now let us see the next topic, classification of algae. So classification of fungi. So fungi are generally classified as different classes. You can see the table here. So fungi are generally classified as myxomycetes and eumycetes. So you will be learning about each class of these fungi later in the highest classes. So you just have to know the names of the classification. So fungi are classified as myxomycetes and eumycetes. So you can see here, this is a myxomycete and this is a eumycete. So this again, the eumycetes are classified as phycomycetes, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes and deuteromycetes. So in this 4 classes, phycomycetes, so these phycomycetes are a group of fungi which have branched hyphae structures. So you can see that the long filaments of hyphae are branched continuously, and that is a characteristic of phycomycetes. Next is ascomycetes. Ascomycetes are sac-like fungi. So the sac-like fungi, in the sac they have the spores, and that spores are shooted out and as sporangium, and that is used for propagation of the next generation. So ascomycetes are sac-like fungi which have spores in the sporangium that are shooted out. Next is basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes are a group of fungi which have clubbed shaped spore producing fungi. So basidiomycetes have club shaped spore producing basidium. That we'll be seeing in the next slide. I'll be showing you the images. The next one is deuteromycetes. Generally, deuteromycetes are called as imperfect fungi. I'll show you the pictures now. So this is phycomycetes. Example is Rhizopus. You can see long filament-like structures, hyphae. So phycomycetes are classified based on the group of hyphae. Next is Aspergillus. Aspergillus is a class of bacteria that belongs to Ascomycetes. So you can see in the second picture, a sac-like, the hyphae is having a sac-like. Inside the sac we have spores, and the sac is also called as sporangium. The next one is Agaricus. Agaricus belongs to Basidiomycetes. And the last one is Trichoderma. I hope you remember the Trichoderma name, which we have already learned in the previous chapter. Trichoderma is used as a biocontrol agent to kill the insects which are attacking the plants. So you can see the hyphae of the Trichoderma are entangling the bacteria and killing them. This is Trichoderma. So let us see economic importance of fungi. So what could be the importance of fungi in our human survival? Yes, the first one is antibiotic. Do you remember antibiotics which can be obtained from fungi? One such antibiotic is penicillin. So penicillin is an antibiotic which is given into the, or it is given to a human body, and it acts as a antibiotic and prevents us from suffering from diseases. So that is one major importance of fungi, that is in the production of antibiotic. The next one is food. Is fungi eaten? Yes, fungi are eaten. One such example is mushroom. Mushroom is a fungi which is rich in proteins and minerals. So mushrooms are consumed. So you can see this is a picture of mushroom. The common mushroom that is edible is called as agaricus. So the most common edible mushroom is called as agaricus. So next one is vitamins. Do we get vitamins from fungi? Yes, we do get vitamins from fungi. So some fungi are helpful in producing an important vitamin B2. So what is the importance of this vitamin B2? So this vitamin B2 is needed for the growth and overall good health of a person. So the growth and good health of a person is monitored by B2. So this B2 vitamin helps in breaking down of carbohydrates and also helps in consuming all the oxygen present in the cell. So one fungi which is used in producing vitamin B is Ashbea gospi. The last one is alcohol. Yes, alcohol and other beverages are prepared by a process called as fermentation, and yeast plays a major role in this. When we are using a grape, wine or any such kind of beverages are prepared with the help of yeast and by carrying out the process of fermentation. So when we add yeast into the fruit, this yeast produces a complex enzyme called as zygamase. So this zygamase is important in preparation of alcohol and other beverages. So you should know that the yeast is capable of producing an enzyme complex called as zygamase, and this zygamase is helpful in preparation of alcohol and other beverages. Yes, the next one is harmful effects of fungi on plants. So we know that certain fungi do cause certain diseases in plants. So let us see one by one. So the first one is the pathogen. Number one is Fusarium oxysporum. So Fusarium oxysporum causes wilt disease in cotton. So you can see the picture. This is a cotton plant. So you can see the leaves of the cotton plant is completely getting burnt and dried. So the fungi is destroying the leaf, and such disease is called as wilt disease in cotton. The next one is Sarcospora personata. So this fungi causes Ticca disease in groundnut. So you can see the leaves are completely embedded, or it is dark patched because of the fungi growth, and this destroys the plant of groundnut. The next one is Colletotrichum falcatum. This causes red rot in sugarcane. So you must have seen few sugarcanes which are having red inside them. So that is because of Colletotrichum falcatum. So it is completely attacked by the fungi. The next one is Pyricularia or oryza. It causes blast disease in paddy, that is in the rice. So you can see the leaves, it is having red burns in them, that is due to the fungi. This is blast disease in paddy. The last one is Albugo candida. It causes white rust and radish. So this is a radish leaf. So you can see it is completely embedded by the fungi. So it is it is having white patches on it. It is nothing but the fungi. So these are few diseases caused in plants by the fungi. Now let us see the harmful effects of fungi in humans. Okay, so we can see generally there are numerous diseases which are caused by fungi. So we have just shortlisted into three important ones. The first one is, the name of the fungi is Trichophyton species. So Trichophyton species causes a disease called as ringworm. So you can see in the picture, on the skin you developed certain rash kind of thing on your arms or anywhere under your skin, that is caused by a fungi called as trichophyton. The next one is dandruff. Is dandruff caused by a fungi? Is dandruff a fungi? No, dandruff is not a fungi. So we have few fungi which lives on the skin. So we know that on the we have a layer of oil glands on the skin. So what happens is, the fungi which is found in the skin of your on your skin breaks down the oil glands which is present on your skin. Therefore your skin loses the oil and it becomes completely dry, and that is why it causes dandruff. So the fungi Mycosporum furfur is causing the dryness on your skin and producing dandruff. The next one is Tinea pedis, which causes athlete's foot. So what is this is? So it is a rash or burning sensation which you can find in between your toes. So the people who generally sweat a lot can face this problem. So because of this, in between your toes you generally develop rashes or burning sensation, your skin starts peeling away. So such is called as athlete's foot. So finally we can see what are the differences between algae and fungi. So let us see. We have shortlisted into four differences between algae and fungi. The major difference between algae and fungi are, algae are autotrophic in nature, whereas fungi are heterotrophic in nature. The next one is, algae have pigments in them. That is why in the previous video you can just check it. Algae are classified based on different pigments present in them. For example, brown algae, red algae, green algae, etc. Whereas fungi do not have any pigments in them. The third one is, starch is the reserve food material found in algae. Because of chlorophyll, we have starch production in algae, whereas in fungi, glycogen and oil are the reserve food material. The last difference is, some algae are prokaryotic in nature. That is, their nucleus is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. But in fungi, all the cells are eukaryotic in nature. So you should always remember that all the cells in fungi are eukaryotic in nature. So you can find a link below this video which consists of 10 to 15 questions. I hope you will be able to answer all the questions, and it is mandatory to answer all the questions. Thank you.